Welcome to Old Rifle 1898, where we share our passion for the rifles, their history, and the pleasure of shooting them. Today I'm gonna be talking about sporterized rifle and how to restore them. You know, the after World War II, there were a lot of military surplus rifles lying around and in warehouses. Those rifles were actually obsolete, and because of their amount, they were sold to other dealers in the US and really all over the world. But when those rifles came into the US, they were sold at a very low price, and people bought them to use them as hunting rifles. But these were like heavy for the use. And people, what they did, they took, like, let's say, this old Enfield number 1. They chopped the wood stock, took out the handguards, and they placed a scope on top and changed the butt plate, and with a kind of new sporter butt. Now that made the rifles very light or lighter, and now they were used for hunting and at a very cheap price. But today we have a better understanding of their history, so they are priced a lot more than they used to be. And also, you can get a new rifle for the price of a standard military surplus. So it's not worth it anymore to take an old surplus rifle and use it as a hunting rifle, substituting an actual new hunting rifle. So once I bought this Berthier carabine, it was made in 1894. It has matching receiver and stock, and I said, you know what? It was actually sporterized. It has different sights. It was shot in here on the front band, and it used to have one of those ugly rubber butt plates, and it was kind of cheap. So I said, well, I'll buy it and restore it. Well, the thing that I was ignorant about was that these parts are very, very hard to get. If it was a rifle, a Berthier rifle, maybe it would have been easier. But sights for the carving are very hard to come by, and if you do, you're gonna pay a lot of them. And the same thing goes for the front band and the front side. So, and we still would need to get the original swivels, and you get the idea. It's not gonna be cheap to restore this rifle. So the bargain that I thought I had buying that rifle was not at all. And that's one thing that you have to remember. If you buy an old sporterized Mauser, you gotta to know what parts you might need and the cost of those parts before making any buy of sporterized rifles. If you're gonna buy a rifle and they have been shot off, the barrel has been cut, just walk away. You might buy it and use it as it is, but don't think you're gonna restore it to its original configuration in a reasonable with a reasonable budget. Okay, so that brings me to today's rifles. I always wanted to have an Enfield Mark One with all the bells and whistles. So I bought this old Enfield Mark One. Enfield number one Mark III. And as I said before, it had been sporterized. So I figured out, I've seen stocks and sites and parts here and there that are being sold for Enfields. So it shouldn't be too much of an issue to restore Enfields. Well, wrong again. There are a lot of parts for Enfields number 4 Enfields, but for number 1 Enfields, the stocks, the fore and the handguards, they are costly, and so the total cost of parts and the bands and the wood and I just gave up. It was too much, and I said, well, it's light, it's nice, I'll leave it as it is, and then I have a good or nice sporterized Enfield. Well, a couple of years went by, and suddenly I went and found this other rifle. Wow! An Enfield number 1 Mark III. This is from India. This is from the factory in Ishapur, and this is what it's called a DP rifle. That stands for drill purpose rifle. This is a rifle that was deemed unusable anymore, and then it was pinned and welded, so you cannot use this or shoot it. You just can use it for drills, parades, or educational purpose, training purposes. Now, the cost of this rifle was way less than the actual value of the parts it had, the parts that could be used, because as I said, the receiver, the bolt, and the barrel, you cannot use them for shooting. So I bought this, and actually it's an all matching gun. I mean, the receiver has this, receiver part number, the serial number, and the bolt, and it has serial number on the magazine, and even the nose cap is serialized, and it's all matching. But it's in a very in a very bad shape. As you can see, the wood has been painted and varnished, and God knows how many times over and over. The same thing goes for all the parts. It has been painted black over black many times over through the years in I guess in an Indian arsenal. Now the Indian armories paint the drill purpose rifles with these specific markings, the red, white, and red stripes. So you can know from very far that you won't be able to shoot with this rifle. Now, some people say, and they're right, these drill purpose rifles are scarce and it might have some value. But you know, for me, I'm a historical shooter, so I want an Enfield that I could shoot. So what I did was getting all these parts apart. I uh, re- I sanded down. I sanded down the wood, put some linseed oil over it once and twice and over many times until I got the actual finish that I was looking for. I took all the parts and I um stripped down all the paint, and then I went to the process called rust bluing that was typical of the late 19th century and early 20th century to protect all the parts, all the steel parts of a gun. It is a process that I did in my house. It's very time consuming, but it's very simple and anyone can do it. Now, and I'm gonna show it in a later video. Now, I went for a look that it was used look. I didn't want to get into like new condition for the rifle, because the rifle is actually an old one. So here's what I did. The rust bluing, I didn't took the parts completely to have a black look, and this is what I ended up. Yes, I had a complete set of two of these rifles and two sporterized rifles. That's why you can see the results so fast. Now you'll see the wood, though I sanded it, it's not like new, and it has all kinds of dings and you know it shows that it is an old and has been used, the wood. And also with the rust bluing the parts, you can see that on the edges it has some kind of wear in terms of the rust bluing effect. And so you look at it and what you see, it's a well-preserved rifle, but it is a used rifle, and that's what I wanted, because I want my, you know, it looks like new, it looks kind of fake. If it's new, it's new. If it's used, it's used. And I do, as I said, historical shooting, and this will give me the context of shooting a rifle from World War One, and it looks like a rifle from World War One, and it is a rifle from World War One. Yes, it was restored in the 2020s, but hey, back in the day, they were restored also from parts of many different rifles, and that's why it's very rare to have one rifle with all matching from that time. So let's say that I'm the last armorer that took over this rifle, and hopefully it will last way past my living years, and someone else will enjoy this rifle as it is in their new old configuration, all dressed up for battle, or let's say all dressed up for historical shooting. Well, that's it for me. I hope you liked the video, and remember to like and subscribe. That's the only thing that I'm asking from you in order to keep on going and producing more videos. Have a nice day, and hope to see you soon.